the Chicago Bears. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded near the back of the end zone, and he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. First and 10, Goff. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
I'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he is going to have a Lions first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
And the Lions first down.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Out of the gun. Goff. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Mariota now to throw on first down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down. Mariota on the keeper. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, Mariota. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. That catch, by the way, number 505 of his career, and that ties him with a couple of other tight ends for the past, Frank Wycheck and Dallas Clark.
And those guys are excellent players, but how about what we're seeing right now? 505 and rising. What a nice career he's put together.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Tackle made at the...
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Dobbins. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Gain on the play.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota completes it to the tight end, Kittle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Looking deep for Adams. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They begin the drive with Johnson. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to them. 11 yards and a first down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20.
Taken down at
a gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
On 2nd and 7, Goff. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So, CD, his very first pass of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know that's a major surprise for any quarterback because, look, let's face it, no one thinks about throwing interceptions. But think about all the warm-up that we saw, right? Every pass he threw wasn't a single interception because, oh, that's right, there were no defenders out there. A little bit different when there's live guys out there chasing the football.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing. But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Mariota. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. George Kittle, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears.
Makes the score Bears 7, Lions nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, McGee. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all of those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry.
So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Going deep for Hopkins. And got his man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. It's a great throw right there, and really showed a lot of confidence in his receiver.
He certainly did. Ball was in the air a long time, but he counted on the adjustment that we saw near the end of the play. As that ball was descending, who was going to come down with it? He counted on his guy, and he gambled correctly.
The ball carrier.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Now Mariota. Caught left side, Hopkins. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 8-yard line.
And they will not get the snap off here. This is going to back them up halfway. Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. McGee, screenplay, Johnson. Nice move on the play, but he will be brought down shy of the 15. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Looking to throw. McGee. He's got his man, T.J. Hawkinson. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 12.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On first down, Johnson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now the second down throw on target. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down. McGee, open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And they will get the first down here as they move into field goal range as well, inside the 25. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. McGee pushes him over. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
He will push his way down to about the 14. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
3rd down.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Looking to throw. McGee completing it to the right side. Johnson. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
4th down.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And the 13-year man puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Taken about 7 yards deep.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Let me breathe for a minute, man. Just let me breathe for a minute. Just let me breathe. It's too hot.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing, Mariota going deep for Hopkins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
By the Lions. They'll take over 1st and 10
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. A short kick taken at the 18.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down.
57, Mike, 57.
Now Mariota. And Adams has it, complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
9-yard line.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Mariota again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the Lions' 7-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
On 3rd down, Mariota to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
In a 4th down.
On now, Tucker McCann. From the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here.
A 24-yard attempt.
McCann's kick up and good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. But looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept the...
Now the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the Bears. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3.
The score, Bears 17, Lions 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion. I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going to try and throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points.
Makes the score Bears 24, Lions 3.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Bears take over.
38-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Play fake. Mariota. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 21. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
On first and 10, here's Mariota. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown.
And pardon me, you know I'm a big advocate of taking tape measures and just throw them away. I want to know if a guy can flat out play. Well, DeAndre Hopkins is about 6'1", and we're used to the guys who go up and take it one-handed like we just saw there. 6'3", 6'4", 6'5 guys. In this case, he plays way taller than what he's listed, doesn't he?
He does indeed, and that was spectacular.
And we've got to watch him work his routine. We saw it during practice during the week. We saw it in pregame. He works hard at these one-handed catches. He's not just showing off.
And this carries into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
T.J. Hawkinson.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. In that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, gets some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a third down.
Throwing on third, Goff. That escapes the sack. It's a loss of 14 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. Fourth down. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 18. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season. When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Mike 57. Check tight end, check tight. Check tight. Mike's 57, 57's Mike.
To throw is Mariota. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return, and the Lions will take over.
34-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. They will find Davis. That's complete.
Complete to Gabriel.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Nick Bosa racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
3rd and long. It's gone. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and that will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. To throw, Mariota. Going deep for Hopkins. It's caught inside the 25. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Bears. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Mariota going for it all. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Mariota here to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Johnson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.